Before these words fully enter your heart, pause for a moment and truly understand what they are. This is not ordinary motivation. This is not another speech designed only to entertain you for a few minutes before life continues exactly the same. What you are about to hear is deeper than that. These words are meant to reach the quiet places inside you that nobody else sees. The places you hide even from yourself sometimes. The tired places. The hopeful places. The places that kept believing long after disappointment tried to silence them. What follows is not simply about God spoken from a distance. It is meant to feel like a whisper placed directly into your spirit. As if the one who knew your story before it began is speaking into this exact moment because the season surrounding your life is shifting right now, even if your eyes cannot fully see it yet. Chosen one, slow down. Not symbolically. Literally. Take a breath. Let your shoulders relax. Let your hands rest without tension. Stop trying to predict every outcome for a few moments. Stop carrying tomorrow before it arrives. Because the next season of your life will not come through fear, overthinking, or exhausting effort. Some things cannot be chased into existence. Some things arrive only when you finally become still enough to receive them. And you have been carrying so much for so long. Not only difficult circumstances, although those have been real. Not only painful seasons, although you know exactly what those felt like. You have also been carrying the invisible weight of uncertainty. The exhausting question of whether any of this struggle ever meant something. Whether the nights of loneliness, the unanswered prayers, the emotional exhaustion, the disappointments, and the silent battles were leading anywhere at all. You kept moving even when nothing around you gave you proof that movement mattered. And that kind of endurance changes a person. There were mornings where getting out of bed felt like climbing a mountain nobody else could see. There were nights where your thoughts became louder than the world around you. There were moments you smiled in front of people while something inside you quietly broke apart. But hear this clearly. None of those moments were wasted. Not one. Every tear. Every silent prayer. Every lonely walk. Every disappointment that forced you to become stronger than you wanted to be. Every closed door that made you question yourself. Every delay that felt unfair. Every season where you felt forgotten. All of it was shaping you. You are not here reading this by accident. Something larger than coincidence guided you here. And before this message ends, something inside you will begin to understand why your spirit has been sensing that change is near. Because something is moving toward your life. Not something small, not something temporary, something massive. And the reason you have felt restless lately is because deep inside you already know it. There has been a strange feeling growing within you recently. At first it was subtle, easy to ignore. But now it keeps returning in quiet moments. A sense that something around your life has shifted. That something important is approaching even though your current circumstances may still look exactly the same. You tried to explain it logically. Maybe it was only hope. Maybe you were imagining things. Maybe you simply wanted change badly enough that your mind created the feeling for comfort. But this is not delusion. This is awareness. The atmosphere changes before rain arrives. The air becomes heavy before the storm appears. And your spirit has been detecting movement before your eyes could confirm it. That is why ordinary things suddenly feel different. That is why certain conversations no longer connect with you the same way. That is why old environments feel emotionally distant now. That is why you feel yourself slowly separating from people, habits, and patterns that once felt normal. You are transitioning. And transitions always feel uncomfortable before they make sense. Some of you noticed that your prayer life changed recently. You stopped begging the way you once did. Something inside you became quieter, calmer. You stopped trying to force answers from heaven, and instead began sitting silently in trust, even when you did not fully understand why. At first you worried that maybe your faith was fading. Maybe exhaustion had simply taken over your spirit. But it was not weakness. It was transformation. You were learning how to rest instead of constantly striving. And there is something important about that. An open hand receives more than a closed fist. You cannot receive what life is trying to place into your hands while you are gripping fear, control, and anxiety with all your strength. So your spirit began loosening its grip. Not because you stopped caring. Because preparation had already begun. Some of you also started pulling away from certain people. Not out of hatred, not out of arrogance. But because something inside you no longer fit the old environment, you felt guilty for becoming quieter. You questioned whether something was wrong with you. But nothing is wrong with you. You are being repositioned. There is a difference between isolation and separation. Isolation drains life from you. Separation prepares you for something greater. The people connected to your next season will not pull you backward into who you used to be. They will align with who you are becoming. And your spirit already recognizes the difference. That is why some relationships suddenly feel heavy. That is why certain conversations exhaust you now. That is why peace matters more to you than attention. You are changing, and the change is intentional. At the same time, many of you are carrying a strange mixture of emotions. A deep peace mixed with unexplained grief. You feel calm, yet emotional. Hopeful, yet reflective. That feeling exists because an old chapter of your life is ending. Even painful chapters create attachment simply because they were familiar. And every ending carries emotion. But what is ending is not your story. Only the season that became too small for your growth. You are entering a different scale of life now. A different level emotionally, spiritually, mentally, even physically. The version of you being formed now would not fit inside the old season anymore. That is why things had to change. Some of you have been having dreams that felt unusually real lately. Dreams that stayed with you after waking up. Dreams that carried emotions stronger than ordinary imagination. You may have avoided speaking about them because you feared sounding dramatic. But sometimes the subconscious begins processing future change before reality visibly arrives. Sometimes your inner self senses movement before your physical world catches up. And right now, something is moving. You have waited for a long time. So long that waiting became part of your identity. You became used to delays, used to silence, used to hoping carefully so disappointment would hurt less. But this season was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to build you. Because what is coming toward your life required a stronger version of you than the one who first entered the waiting season. You needed deeper roots, stronger emotional endurance, greater wisdom, a calmer spirit. And those qualities are not created overnight. They are built slowly through pressure, silence, setbacks, and growth. Every closed door trained something inside you. Every rejection sharpened your discernment. Every lonely season forced you to find strength within yourself. Every delay taught you patience. Every hardship expanded your capacity. Nothing was random. Nothing was meaningless. The fire did not come to destroy you. It came to refine you. Gold is placed into fire because it is valuable. And you survived things that should have broken you completely. Yet somehow you are still here. Still breathing, still searching, still hoping. That alone proves there is something powerful inside you. There is another truth you need to hear. Most people spend their lives believing blessings are earned only through perfect performance. They believe they must become flawless before receiving anything meaningful.